Hello everyone, and welcome to another week of a Yoga Mudra Oracle reading, an energy forecast for the coming week. And I feel as though we are now in earnest in 2026. It's really begun, and like I said last week, I really feel that there's quite a fresh, tangible impulse of new beginnings. To me, this year already feels like it just has a little bit of a softer tone, and I hope you're also sensing that. I hope you've had a lovely January so far and a really beautiful start to the year. And last week we drew a really beautiful mudra, which I felt also set the stage or set the tone for the coming year. And for this week's reading, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I just had a feeling that it would be helpful to continue to explore the mudra that was chosen last week. And I normally would pick a new card for the week, but just personally, I've been getting so much from Kalesvara Mudra in my own personal practice that I wish to explore it further myself. And I just feel that it's a really supportive mudra for setting up the year in just the right way. And that I mean personally for you. As it is for me. So I'm hoping that you might be open to a little bit of a change of routine this week. And so what I was really thinking was, like normal, I'd sort of talk a little bit at the beginning. I won't talk for too long in this video. And then I will move into a practice where we will take Kalesvara Mudra together. I'll explain how to do that because it's actually quite, it's what I would call a more challenging posture for the hands to take. So I will demonstrate how to do that, and then you can hold that as I guide you through a very short little practice that you might like to take into every day of the coming week. So Kalesvara Mudra, let's just revisit the card. This is what the card looks like, what the mudra looks like. And the symbology of the artwork, you can see there's an hourglass with sand, and there's a beautiful sort of light spiral in the background, a Fibonacci shell spiral. And those elements tie into the theme of Kalesvara Mudra. So the mudra is, like I said, I'd say it's an advanced hand posture, and it won't be available to everybody. So what I say when your hands can't make those shapes, please do not worry. That doesn't help at all, worrying. So what you need to focus on is just really the shape of the hands. Like, you can even gaze at the artwork, or if you just can visualize the mudra, I think that is also a very potent and powerful practice within itself. And I believe personally that it still activates the energy channels, which is what mudras do. So even just by visualizing, we're activating energy channels. And by taking the hand gesture, we're also activating energy channels in the body that actually support you experiencing the theme of the mudra. And the theme of this mudra is all about breaking old patterns. So, like I said, it's a beautiful one to begin this year with, because I feel a lot of us come into a new year wanting to make changes. I know that for myself. And personally, those changes that I'm focusing on when I use this mudra are around my business and last year for me, I worked very hard in achieving a lot of things, a lot of really wonderful things that I achieved last year. But of course, that comes at a physical and emotional cost. And perhaps I didn't quite look after myself as well as I could have. And this year, I still want to achieve big goals, but I want to do it with more gentleness. I want to do it with more of a heart-centered, intuitive, guided focus rather than just crossing things off a list. I really want to bring more joy and attract good opportunities that will lead me in the right directions. So that's when I use this mudra at the moment, they're the things I'm focusing on. So that's how you can really practically use mudras, because they can really help break those cycles. So this beautiful mudra, in a nutshell, is really about breaking all patterns. It's about addictive habits as well, letting go of addictive habits. That could be so many things. We all have addictive habits and patterns within to a various degree, and that could just even be you might have an addiction to worry. I sometimes feel like I personally have to really watch worry, and so it's about breaking those cycles. It's about stepping free, and this mudra gives you an energetic experience of letting those things go. It is just such a help on our journey. And some other themes of Kalesvara Mudra include, it is actually the deity. Kalesvara is a deity who rules over time, the fullness of time. And this mudra also helps to calm the mind and settle agitation. So not only is it helping us break old patterns, it's also helping to settle our inner self, which is so important when we're working with these things within ourself. So there's something I wrote in the guidebook. I wasn't going to read all the guidance today, but I just wanted to point this one thing out. And I've written here that, as the famous Italian sculptor Michelangelo said, every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. I saw the angel in the marble and carved it until I set him free. I just really love that example from Michelangelo, one of the greatest artists of all time. I think it really talks about being guided, being divinely guided. It's like we don't really know where we're headed, but we've got to trust. We have to trust that we are actually being led into the right thing, onto the right path. And the more we listen to our intuition, the more that can happen. So Michelangelo is saying that, there's just a block of marble, but he can see the angel in it. It's like he can see the potential, but he has to set it free. We have to do that for ourselves. We have to set ourselves free. We have to carve ourselves into something greater. And another example, I was just actually recently watching the new documentary on the making of season 5 of Stranger Things, and a show that I adore, which I'm sure most people do. And the Duffer brothers were explaining how an episode comes together. And they were saying that it was like molding clay, like they really don't know what it's going to look like at the end, but They trust that process of sort of stepping into the unknown, and they're also stepping into the unknown as a collaborative team. There's a team of people helping them mold that clay, but in order to do that, there's so much letting go that needs to be done. And it's just another great example. You know, these people are at the peak of their industry, and they're working in this beautiful, intuitive way. And no wonder the show just resonates with so many people and is so successful. You know, it has that kind of thread of mystery and magic, and it's like they don't know where it's going, but they're being led on this journey. And you know, what they've made is so impressive. Anyway, enough about TV shows. So let's come back to Kalesvara Mudra, and we'll just move into a little, just like a minute or two practice of working with this mudra, so you can get a feel. You can get a real true feel of how this works. And I'm going to say to begin with that I personally struggle to get my hands into this mudra posture, so you will have to forgive me a little bit. I can do it. It's totally fine. Once I'm in it, I just love it. I can really attune to it. But my fingers are actually double jointed, which is a good and a bad thing. So if my fingers look a bit unusual in this shape, it is just because of that, and it can make it a little bit harder for me to find some of these more complex shapes. So let's try this together, and then we'll just sit in it for a minute or two. So the way we come into Kalesvara Mudra, and I feel like too, if you watched my video last week, I want to apologize. I feel like I didn't explain it that well, so I'm going to really explain it properly this time. So I find the easiest way is to we're bringing the very tips of our middle fingers together to touch. Now all the other fingers, except for the thumbs, actually touch each other in this part of the finger. Can you see there? Just this part here. They touch each other like that. Can you see that? So we'll start again. We bring the tips of the middle fingers together. Then the rest of the fingers fold down and they touch each other. I'm not sure what that part of the finger is called. I should actually find out, seeing I teach mudras. Maybe you know. If you know, please let me know. So we're touching all those parts of the fingers just below where they bend, at the joint there, where they're touching together. And then with the thumb, that's also touching too. So this is what the mudra looks like this way. This is what the mudra looks like that way, which is a little bit hard for me to show you, but that's what you'll be seeing. So I'm hoping that your fingers can find that shape, and if they can't, please don't worry, please just visualize the mudra. Already I can feel a building of quite strong energy coming into this mudra. By the way, the thumbs are pointing downward. They're pointing downward in that mudra. There's another angle for you. It's such a beautiful, almost like a heart shape. It's just such an incredible, incredible posture. It is one of the harder ones, like I said. I have included a few quite challenging mudras in the deck, but not too many, but this is right up there. So now the thumbs are pointing toward the heart chakra. So your middle finger is pointing toward me. So the most important thing I find in these more challenging mudras is to remember, such a simple thing, but to relax. As soon as we come into something that can challenge the body, we can find that there's just tension that we're even unaware of. It just creeps in to our shoulders. So try to relax the shoulders. Now, if you've got the time, you might like to close your eyes, and we're just going to take a moment to move a bit deeper into Kalesvara Mudra together. So again, making sure that the body feels nice and soft and settled, and ensuring that the chest feels open. You might like to make sure that your shoulders and shoulder blades are just sliding back, feeling that opening across the chest. Relaxing the shoulders. Feeling the breath deepen. Feeling the breath move all the way into the belly. The belly expands as you breathe in. As you breathe out, feeling a sense of the breath and the energy of the breath traveling all the way upward through the centers, and a sense of it moving out the top of the head. So we're breathing energy in through the top of the head all the way down to the base. Belly expands. Pausing for a moment, letting the breath go now. Belly contracts a little. Energy of the breath moving all the way up the body, and a sense of it moving out the top of the head and beyond. Let's take one more breath in this way. Breathing in, energy traveling down. Belly expands. Pausing. Now letting the breath go. Belly contracts a little. Energy of the breath moving all the way upward. A sense of it moving beyond the top of the head. And now we're just coming into a soft breath again as we hold this beautiful mudra together. Making sure there's no unnecessary tension in the body, and also no unnecessary tension in the hands. Shouldn't feel uncomfortable, but if it does, please just feel free to come out of the mudra at any time. And I'd like you now just to place a really gentle focus on something you really do wish to transform this coming year. Could be something within you, it could be something to do with your relationship, your job. It could be anything really, but just placing a gentle focus on it with a wish of transforming that part, softening that part, being more open to intuitive guidance in relation to that which you wish to let go of and transform. Really seeing and visualizing yourself in a new energy of being where you are already living your life with that transformation blossoming within you. You are already that person. Let Kalesvara Mudra really work its magic, helping you see yourself in a time where you're realizing dreams, you're realizing true inner transformation in relation to that which you hope to change. So again, just for one more moment, letting Kalesvara work its magic, helping you really feel the possibility within you of something new blossoming. Kalesvara will help you. So in a moment, I'd like you to release your hands very gently. They might feel a little bit stiff. Give the fingers a little bit of movement, whatever feels right. And just placing the hands somewhere comfortable now, and just bathing for a moment longer in that beautiful energy that we've built together. And I really do urge you to keep exploring this mudra over the coming week. Keep letting Kalesvara Mudra set the tone of your year ahead. And before we go, I actually pulled a card from another deck before I came on, another deck that I'm really enjoying using at the moment. It's called Muse, the Artist's Oracle. It's by Monica Stadalski, and I believe it's self-published, so if you do want this deck, you will need to go to her website. I'll include some information below for you when I post the video, but I'm just loving, I love using sometimes another deck with my deck, because I feel like it sort of validates the message. It's like it gives a bit more meaning. It confirms things for me. And the card I picked today was, this was all before I kind of knew what I was even talking about today, but the card I picked, this is the back of the card, isn't it gorgeous? It says, see, beauty resides in everything around us. Take notice. So it's just, again, it sort of ties into the story about Michelangelo and the block of marble. It's like, today, try and see that beauty in everything. Really try, and we do need to try sometimes. You know, we don't all have time to go wandering in nature, but if you do, wonderful. Please take in the trees, take in the flowers, take in the bird song. But if you're just at work, you know, try and see the beauty in the people, in you know, out a window you might have a view of something. So let's try and see the beauty in more things today. That's the card. And I'm going to say goodbye now before the workmen in our corridor, the noise completely takes over my video. Not sure if you can hear that. But thank you so much for today, and next week I will be back with a proper Yoga Mudra Oracle card reading. I hope you enjoyed today, and sending you love. Let me know how you go with this mudra. Let me know if you have any problems with it. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you. Bye for now.